What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're looking for some Wonder Kids, I think today I've got a video that is right up your street. Yes, today I'm going to show you 7 more Wonder Kids that I think are top tier Wonder Kids. We've had the elite ones. If you haven't checked them out already, go on the channel, have a little look at who I think the best Wonder Kids in FM23 are. But in today's episode, you're going to find 7 more Wonder Kids that would give them a run for their money. Let's not waste any time. Let's jump into this one and show you those 7. Starting at number 7. That player is Fabio Moretti. He is a 18-year-old central midfielder who plays for Juventus. Currently valued at the start of the game at 10 to 15 million pounds, and he is a product of Juventus's youth academy. Looking at his positions on the pitch, you can see he's most comfortable in the centre of the park. Can also play anywhere in that little diamond shape, so at the head of an attacking midfield, or he can be a base in terms of a defensive midfielder. Both of those positions will need some training. Looking at him as a player, as I said, 18 years old, he's a player who is going to develop into a bit of a midfield general. You can see that already just by looking at his core base stats. So stamina of 14, agility of 14, balance of 14, rest of the physicals are fine there. In terms of his mentals, you've got good aggression, good bravery, determination is 16, good positioning, teamwork, vision, work rate, and then on the technical side of the game, dribbling of 14, first touch of 14, free kick taking, passing, penalty taking, tackling and technique is all there. Fabio Moretti is going to be a fine player both in real life and in Football Manager. In at number 6 is a player that has had a bit of buzz about him for this FM23 release. He is 16-year-old Warren Zaire Emery. He currently plays for PSG and he's valued at 13.5 to 20 million pounds, yes, at the age of 16. Looking at his little graphic in terms of his positions on the pitch, you can see he likes to play as a defensive midfielder or a midfielder in the centre. He's a product of Paris Saint-Germain's youth academy and a player that they think very, very highly of. Looking at him as a player, he's 178 centimetres tall and wants to play as that kind of lighthouse, as they call Fabinho at Liverpool. So his game is based really around his pace and acceleration in the middle of the park to be mobile. When you look at his mental stats, he has good anticipation, bravery, determination, flair, good teamwork, vision and work rate. And when you look at his technicals, he has good passing, marking, tackling, technique, corners, dribbling, it's all there. Really, Warren Zaire Emery will develop into a fantastic footballer at the age of 16. It might take a little bit of time, but persist with him. I think he's going to be a world star once he gets there. The next player on the list is a player who plays for Stoke. Yes, you heard me right. Stoke under 18s. His name is Emery Tesl. Now, I have to admit, I haven't heard a lot about this player at all. He is English, he is 16, he is described as a promising striker who's valued at 6.4 to 8 million pounds by Stoke City. Looking at his positions, he is your archetypal centre forward, wants to be a target forward and an advanced forward. He stands at 182 centimetres tall. His personality is fairly professional, and as I said, he's described as a promising striker. Looking at him, you can see he's raw talent, really. As I said, 182 centimetres tall. His jumping reach is 13. His natural fitness is 15. He has good pace of 15. Acceleration is something you're going to need to work on. It's only 8. In terms of his mentals, good work rate is there. Determination, bravery, composure. Looking at his technicals, finishing a 15 for a 16-year-old is pretty impressive. First touch of 13, passing 11, penalty taking 12 and technique of 14. So he's a player who is going to need some polishing. At the age of 16, you have plenty of time to get him to where you need him to be. This kid could really develop, and I think, even if you haven't heard of the name right now, in a couple of years' time, we might all be talking about Emery Tesl. Up next on the list, we have Matthias Tell. He is a Frenchman who decided to go to Germany to play his football. Looking at him, he's a 17-year-old wonder kid who is valued at 42 to 63 million pounds, a product of the Rennes Academy. Looking at his pitch graphic, you can see he's another one of those players who likes to play wide left or wide right, can cut in off of the wings. He's naturally right-footed. His player traits are curls the ball and cuts inside from the left wing. Now, at the age of 17, obviously with a big price tag on his head, he chose to leave Rennes to go to Bayern Munich. If it's the right decision or not, only time will tell. I have a feeling, though, that this kid really has something about him. When we look at his stats at the start of FM23, he has 15 pace, 15 acceleration. Obviously, the first two things you look for in a winger. Going on to the mentals, you can see he has good vision, good flair, determination. There are some other stats in there that do need a little bit of working, but at the age of 17, again, he's a player who is going to develop. And then in terms of the technicals, dribbling of 14, finishing of 12, first touch of 12, free kick taking, heading, long shots, passing, penalty taking and technique are all standout attributes too. Matthias Tell has such a big future ahead of him, and I think in FM23 he deserves to be a top tier Wonderkid. Up next on the list is a 17-year-old who plays up front for Sporting. He can play in a number of attacking positions. He is Rodrigo Ribiero. He, as I said, is only 17, but he's valued between 425,000 to 4.2 million. So of these on the list, he's one of the cheaper ones that you could probably go and approach at the start of the game and maybe pick him up as a bargain to develop him. As I said, he plays as an attacker, can either play on the right wing or the left wing, also plays through the middle as a striker. Looking at him, he has a few player traits, likes to beat his opponent repeatedly and runs with the ball often, meaning he's a direct forward who will go straight in on goal. Looking at his stats, obviously another of these raw players at the age of 17 that's going to need developing. He's 185 centimetres tall, has 13 pace, 13 acceleration, 14 natural fitness. Moving on to the mental side of the game, work rate, off the ball, flair, determination, composure, anticipation, aggression are all good in that category. And then in terms of the technicals, this is probably where he needs fine tuning, but he does have dribbling of 13, first touch of 12, finishing of 11, passing of 11 and technique of 14. He's a player who is in the infancy of his career still, but looking at the graphic, you probably can't see it under me. He's played 8 games and scored 4 goals for Sporting's B team. I think he will make the step up in no time. Next up, we are off to the Premier League and we are going to Leeds United. This is Joe Gelhardt. Anybody who has played Football Manager across the past couple of years probably would have come across Joe Gelhardt at some point. He has been on a few Wonderkid lists in the past couple of games. Started his career off at Wigan before getting his move to Leeds. He's now 20 years old. He's valued at 22 to 30 million pounds. Has a few player traits. He likes to shoot with power, comes deep to get the ball and runs with the ball often, can play in a few positions high up the pitch, starts off as a striker, can be an attacking midfielder through the centre, and you can also train him to play off of either wing. Looking at his stats in terms of the physicals, he has some good physicals to start the game. Acceleration, balance, pace, stamina and strength all look like they are standout attributes. In terms of his mentals, he has good flair, off the ball, teamwork, vision, work rate, aggression and bravery are all standing out. And then in the technicals, he has a little bit to do in this category, but it all is there for you to work on. Technique is good, passing is good, long shots, first touch, finishing, dribbling. He is a player who you're going to have to do the final bits to get him to where he needs to be. But if you can get the best out of Joe Gelhardt, you are going to get yourself an amazing striker. For the number 1 player on this list, we are off to Spain, to La Liga, and we are looking at a Real Madrid player. He is Julen John Guerrero. He plays for Real Madrid B. Starts the game valued at £950,000 to 9 million. He's 18 years old, and I think he's going to be a player that explodes in the game, and once you start to develop him, he will become fantastic. Starts off with 2 positions, can play as a central midfielder or an attacking midfielder through the centre. And when you look at his stats, he does have a lot of work that needs to be done, but if you can get the best out of him, he's going to be a Wonderkid and then some. Looking at him, he has good pace, good acceleration, good jumping reach to start the game. In the mentals, determination of 16, flair of 16, vision 15, work rate 13, bravery of 14, dribbling of 14, finishing of 13, first touch, free kick taking, passing, long shots, technique, it's all there. He's a product of the Real Madrid Youth Academy, and I think they have another world star on their hands if they can fully develop him, and you can get the best out of him in FM23. So there we have it. That is another 7 Wonder Kids for you to go and check out on FM23. How do you think they rank? Do you think I got them in the right order from 7 to 1? Obviously, it's really difficult when you've got a lot of players in this game that could class as Wonder Kids, and when you try and rank where you think they could be, what is a top tier to me might be elite, what is elite to you might be top tier to me, and that is the exact reason that I've put them in the order that I have found them. Again, if you think there are players that are missing from the list or should be on the list, submit them in the comment section down below. I might try and do a user commented Wonder Kid video in the future if we get enough suggestions and I don't have those players on lists somewhere else. Right then, if you're still here at this point, you're still listening to me, firstly, a big thank you. Secondly, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up, hitting the subscribe button and leaving me a comment to let me know who you enjoyed from this video. And also, don't forget to go and check other things out on the channel. We have tactics, Wonder Kids, we have tutorials, there's Let's Plays, a little bit of something here for everybody on the channel. But for this one, I'm going to leave it there. A big thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.